Hey guys, just wanted to talk about an issue I had with my tank. I had a bit of an alk spike, so I used the HANA tester here, and it went to 11 about 10 days ago, and then I kind of got it down from there by doing water changes, 5 gallon bucket water changes. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. I lost one torch, and that was about it. But other than that, I mean, I didn't lose anything else. Everything else looked pretty good. The pH did go up quite high. It was almost at 9, and it definitely went down quite a bit recently. So it was down to like 7.2. Obviously, I don't test as much as I should be. Having this HANA tester is really nice. I have a couple other testers, HANAs that are definitely nice, but yeah, I mean, I did a couple of videos earlier this morning showing my pH down to 7.2, and I dosed some alk earlier. I have two-part that I dose. I just dosed I don't know, is it like 30 milliliters? And right away I have a video showing how high it went like minutes after. We can refresh this, but this is probably 2 hours after I dosed. And yeah, it spiked up to 8.2, but now it's at 7.9, which is pretty good. I mean, I would like it to be above 8. But again, I'm trying not to touch too much, trying to do it in increments, not too drastic. I don't want to do anything too crazy. Right now, I'm currently trying to get rid of some cyano, so I did some chemi clean and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I'll show you these videos that I took earlier of how low my pH was in the morning. I did some testing. My alk was down. Obviously, I don't test enough, so I usually just go based on how the corals look. My acans are a very good way of telling how happy they are. Right now, they're super fluffy. I have not much issues. The torch is awesome. Torches definitely tell you. Euphyllia is a really good telltale sign. Actually, this this hammer's looking a little white. That one right there. I'm not too sure why. I just started doing that the last couple of days, but keep an eye on that one. But yeah, I'll show you those videos from earlier and go over there. And then I'll show you where I ended up at the end of that. So I just wanted to show my lights are off in the tank right now. This is early in the day, probably. I think it's 9 o'clock still. And my pH is quite low. It's very low. It hasn't dropped down to 7, but if you look at it, I've been monitoring it for a while. And yeah, so I had like an alk spike about 10 days ago, and the alkalinity went up to, I think it was 10.5. And I was dosing manually, and my pH was quite high as well. It was like 8.7, which I mean isn't too bad. You want it around 8.3, 8.5. But after I believe I stopped doing dosing of the alkalinity, and my pH started to drop quite a bit, which kind of makes sense. But it's been a while now since I've kind of balanced things out, and my pH hasn't gone back up. Obviously, it's going to be pretty low because the lights haven't turned on. It will go up to close to 8. Sometimes it goes over 8. But I would like to keep it over 8 all the time, or at least like most of the time when the lights are on, because it only peaks around 8 for a little bit, and then it goes back down. So I'll come back. I'm gonna probably test the alk and calc, and then maybe dose some alkalinity if I feel like it's safe enough to do that. And we'll see. Sorry about I'm just kind of running some chemi clean right now, so I thought I'd put the pump up there to get some more aeration into the water, which can also help with my pH as well, because it will help with the carbon dioxide releasing into the water, maybe getting some more oxygen in there. And obviously, being winter time, I have all the doors and windows shut, so there's probably a high carbon dioxide content in the place right now, especially with this lazy dog just laying around here. And you know, me, I'm off work right now, so we're obviously causing a lot of carbon dioxide into the air. So that's also going to cause the pH to drop, is high amounts of carbon dioxide in the air. So maybe adding a little more aeration will help as well. So I'm going to try and battle this this pH problem for now, but I'm going to test the waters and we'll go from there. Okay, so I just tested the water and for alkalinity, and I've got 7.5, which is a little low. It's definitely come down in the last 10 days. I haven't tested in a couple of days now. Last time I tested, it went from 10 to 9. Over a couple of days, it was almost at 11 before that. So it's definitely dropped quite a bit. So I did decide I was gonna put some alkalinity in just right now before the lights turn on and I do any water changes or any more testing. So what I do is I got this 15 milliliter syringe because it's a small tank. I just need to dose like small amounts at a time too. So I go ahead and dose it right into the filter floss, kind of back chamber there. So a lot of flow that will just suck it down into each chamber and it will kind of diffuse back there, and then it will come out into the main tank, and that I feel like is the best way to dose alkalinity, because it can be pretty harsh when dosing directly into your tank. I know there's things of like alk burn, and just like where you're dosing it, it's going to be extremely high, and obviously high alk is one of the most dangerous things for a reef tank. And being a nano tank, it's just like so small, everything changes so quick. Something that, you know, would be nice to have a larger tank, but can't really do that in an apartment. But for now, you know, it's working really good. You know, you just gotta keep your eye on the corals and, you know, let the corals tell you how they're doing. So yeah, if you look at this, I just refreshed my my Senai there, and the pH bumped right up to 8. And obviously I just dosed a little bit of alkalinity back there, so it's going to cause a spike in the back chamber there, and that's where I have the tester right there. And obviously it's gone through and it's sensing higher pH, because alkalinity will raise your pH dosing alkalinity. And yeah, so it's pretty crazy. I mean, right away there, that seems like, you know, a little too fast for my liking, but obviously, you know, it's concentrated at the back chamber there, so, you know, the tester is getting the brunt of it. So that's like literally a minute ago, right after I dosed it. So we'll see. I'm going to test it again, see if it goes back down. Maybe once the alkalinity goes throughout the tank, we'll see again. So yeah, I think I found my main issues. Maybe my alkalinity dosages are a little too high. I mean, like, it's at 9.6. It's been 3 hours since I dosed the 30 milliliters of my two-part. Now, I usually use the BRS calculator for measurements, and obviously, you know, I was just kind of doing that, and I found most of the time I just use two syringes, so I do that every time. So I think my main issues, I need to be more careful with how much I'm dosing, because right now I'm at 9.6, and that's definitely too high. And to go from 7.5 to 9.6 is a pretty big jump. You're jumping two DKHs there. And I mean, you could see, you know, with my pH, it drastically changed. So that's where I ended up being. So yeah, make sure you guys don't dose too much, you know, like with a small tank. That's just how quick it happens, you know, like, you know, I had a bigger tank than this before, but I've been doing this for a while, and I try not to dose, but I've been kind of trying to get my pH to go higher, because I usually just rely on my Kalkwasser to do most of my my supplementing, but I've been trying to add some more vitamins and other kind of all for reef I have. So, you know, I think the alkalinity just is a very risky one. You know, I've done it before, and obviously I need to be a little more careful. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. Just wanted to show you guys, you know, how crazy quick it can be with these small tanks. You got to be very careful with these alkalinity 2 parts. Sometimes, you know, you got to start really light. You know, I feel like I could have done 1 syringe and gone up one DKH, and it would have been a lot better. So I'll definitely keep that in mind. But just wanted to show you guys, you know, so you don't make the same mistakes. You know, obviously, you know, I could have not released this video, but you know, everyone's gonna learn. You know, I'm also quite new to this. You know, I've been doing this for about a year only, and I've pretty much battled everything but aptasia so far, and a couple pests. I know I have vermicide snails, but other than that, you know, algaes and cyano, dinos are all things that, you know, I've battled with this fairly new tank. But the corals are doing good, and I haven't had many deaths, knock on wood. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.